What is up, you guys? I am back with Red Green Luffy, which I think is a completely underrated pick this format. He is extremely powerful with some amazing offensive pushes, but he also has incredible defense due to his leader's effect, which gives you up to 10k free counter every single turn. I have two replays for you guys today, as well as going over my deck profile afterwards. These replays are made possible by duelvoyager.com. It is an amazing new site. You guys should definitely check it out. I left a link to it in the description. And so for the first match, I'm up against Green Yellow Yamato, which is a really cool deck, and I am playing a Supernova build of Red Green Luffy. A lot of people leave heavily into the Straw Hats because you're able to protect them, but many of your Straw Hats are Supernovas anyway. So you still get to make great use of your leader's effect, but you get to play great things like the 6-cost Luffy still, and cool things like the 1-cost Killer, which saves you a Dawn each turn, which is actually really relevant because that basically lets your leader get an extra 2k worth of counter every single turn. So my opponent plays down the 3-cost Mihawk. I absolutely love that card. And they play down the 4-cost Odin, which basically is going to be 7k on my turn, so I'm not going to be able to really attack over him. So I draw a Garp, but I'm choosing to just throw down the 4-cost Nami this turn already because I'll be able to rest their blocker and their Mihawk, and I'll be able to attack over their blocker with my Killer and then easily get over their Mihawk with my leader. So I've cleared a lot of the threats on their board, and I still have 3 Dawn during my end phase, so I'm able to counter out of basically everything they throw at me. They attack with their Yamato leader into my Killer. It definitely makes sense not to just stack everything onto their leader because I could just counter right out of that. Then they throw down another Odin and another Vegapunk blocker. So I think that's pretty alright. Their field is still looking pretty good. They have a ton of swings, but I have a ton of free counter, so it really doesn't matter to me. Now I throw down the 6-cost Luffy. Fantastic card because I get 4 Dawn back. It's basically just a 2-cost 7k double attack swing. It's just fantastic. So I actually grabbed another one here. I'm going to be putting a ton of pressure on my opponent. And they just take their life card when I attack. And it's a 5-cost Yamato, which is probably what they're going to throw down. They do just attack with their 4-cost Odin first, so that's just a free counter for me. And then they attack again. That's just another free counter for me. And then they throw down the Yamato, getting 3 Dawn cards onto their leader, and then stacking their last active Dawn card onto their leader as well. And then they just attack me, and I chose not to block, partially because I low-key forgot that I had a blocker, but also because I was fine filling up my hand a little bit. I still had a ton of defense, and this just gives me more options heading into the mid to late game. And for turn, I draw a 10-cost Shanks, which is just so fantastic. I love that card. But I can't play him yet, so I just drop another 6-cost Luffy, getting 4 Dawn back, and then I attack with my other Luffy, and they do block, which makes definitely a lot of sense, but now I'm able to just attack with my leader, and they take it, and then it was actually a trigger. It's the Kikunojo, so they have another body on the field, but I'm not too concerned. I still have 5 Dawn cards for defense. Now, the first thing they do is attack for 7 to get 2 Dawn cards out, but I choose to actually just use one of my Dawn cards and then use one of my cards as counter. So they attack again. I use another counter because I am worried about them just stacking a ton onto their leader again. So they attack for 6, and I do decide to use my leader's effect this time. And then my opponent attacks for 7, so I use my leader again, and they might as well not even use their Kikunojo because I could just freely counter out. So they just throw down their Borsalino, get another life card. It's a little annoying, but it's totally fine. It's nothing I can't handle. So now I throw down the 10-cost Shanks, and I use its effect to stand all my 10 Dawn back. And then I put 2 onto my leader to try to attack over one of their characters, because I don't want to attack over their Yamato, because then I'll just have to burn a life card. But they counter out. I'm happy with that. It gets some cards out of their hand. And then I attack 8 into 7 again, and I do get over it. Looking at their hand, they had 2 2Ks, so I'm surprised they didn't just counter out, but it is what it is. So I stack 2 onto my Luffy, and then attack the other one, and they let it go as well. And then I just pass it over to them, and I still have 5 Dawn cards for defense, plus 3 massive swings, and a blocker to make sure that they can't get over either of my Luffys. So they stack onto their Yamato and then attack my leader. I will counter out with 2 Dawn cards. Then they do basically the same thing with their Kikunojo, putting 3 Dawn on this time. And I just decided to take this one because I'd rather take this one as opposed to taking their Yamato leader swing. So then they throw down the Kinemon, stand 3 Dawn back, and then toss everything onto their leader. But when they attack, I'm able to just rest 3 of my Dawn cards, so not a big deal, very easy. Luffy just has so much defense, it's so hard for your opponent to get through to your life. So I attack them, they have to counter out, and then I throw down the Ben Beckman because I realize that since they have no cards in their hand, I'm able to just freely swing with my other double attack Luffy. And the way I did it, they needed to draw exactly 2 2k counters to be able to save themselves from just losing this turn. I definitely could have just attacked with my leader. They had to take it, and then I can just attack with my Luffy, and they have to take both, and then I can attack with my Shanks. But the way that I did it still completely worked. It was extremely unlikely that they were going to grab 2 2k counters. So I just attacked for 7, and then I attacked for 8, and then I attacked for 12, and I finished them off. So that was a really clean win against one of the most aggressive decks in the format right now. I've been having a lot of fun playing Yamato, and I'm happy that I was able to beat them too. So hopping right into the next game, I am up against Tinkerer playing one of his most threatening decks, Red Purple Roger. So this is a really interesting matchup because he is really good at throwing a ton of big bodies down. And I only have so much counter. I can definitely counter out of like 1 attack per turn, but as soon as he starts building up his board, it's going to be really tough. Plus, he's often just a 9k leader, so we'll see how I do. So he throws down a Searcher to start, and I could have done the same, but I just choose to throw a Dawn onto my leader so that when he attacks me on his turn, I should be able to counter out of this. But he does just stack all of them onto his leader and then attacks me, so I am forced to also discard a 2k counter from my hand. Now on this turn, I have the amazing 4-cost Zoro, so I just throw him right down to stand 2 Dawn again, and he'll be able to stand himself every single turn as well. So I just attack with my leader, and he takes it. He has 5 life, so it definitely makes sense that he takes this one. And then he's forced to put a Dawn onto his leader, but he does play down the Mr. 2 to get another Dawn card, and he throws that onto his leader as well, and attacks me. So I also am trying to counter out of this. I want to try to counter out of the smaller attacks while I still can, because as soon as he starts dropping like the 8-cost Roger and stuff like that, he could easily just swing for like 10k and more, so I'll probably be forced to take those. So I'm just taking the time to counter out while I still can. Now I play the 6-cost Luffy, and I get 4 Dawn back, and then I play down the 1-cost Killer, which is great because it basically is free in terms of Dawn. I just lose a card out of my hand, but it's not a big deal because it really does help keep my defenses up. So I attack for 5, and then I get a card out of their hand, and then I attack for 7 and get a card out of their life. So they're at 3 life. I have my big Luffy on my side of the field as well, so I'm feeling pretty good about running him down on his life cards before he really becomes a 7k leader or more. So they throw down another Mr. 2 and get another Dawn card, and then they throw down their Douglas Bullet, which is honestly just a really good attacker every single turn, but it also gets them another Dawn card. So he's already a 7,000 power leader. I was hoping I had 1 more turn, but that just wasn't the case. So now he's attacking for 9, and I'm just taking this one. It's a 4-cost Nami. I'm really happy about that. This is a fantastic card. So on this turn, I actually just throw it down and get rid of both of his Mr. 2s, because this is just a really powerful attacker. It could just become a 7k swing during his turn for basically free, as well as just restanding Dawn. What a crazy card. So I attack over 1, and then I put a Dawn onto my leader, attack over the other one, and then I put 2 Dawn onto my Luffy. I am attacking 9 into 7, hoping to get it through, and he unfortunately counters out. So I definitely should have attached my other 2 Dawn on. I kind of forgot that I had my Nami in the end phase, so it would have been more efficient just attaching the other 2 onto Luffy, because that would have been a lot stronger, even though he did still have the counters in his hand, and maybe he would have. But in any case, I restand the other 3 Dawn cards and then pass it over to my opponent, who plays down a 7-cost Zoro, which is just really fantastic because it's another one of those cards that just boosts your leaders by 2,000 power. which is especially strong in Roger because now you're just a 9,000 power leader. Not only is that a big swing, it's basically going to be impossible to attack into your life. So he basically doesn't have anything to do because all of my active Dawn cards would be able to counter out of his leader attack. So I just play down my 10 cost Shanks during my turn, and then all my Dawn are still active, but I can't play anything from my hand. Not a big deal because I'm going to attach my Dawn to my 6 cost Luffy. I was thinking about doing it to my leader at first, but then I decided against it. It would be a stronger swing with this double attack Luffy. And he actually does take it, which surprised me, especially looking at this replay because he has 2k counters in his hand. So I don't entirely know why he didn't just counter out. But in any case, I still throw the Dawn onto my leader. So I still have 10,000 counter worth of Dawn cards on my field. It's just incredible. So he throws down a Searcher and grabs the 10 cost Roger. So now I have to be careful about leaving him or myself on 0 life. But the way things are looking, it's still looking pretty good. So he throws down another Zoro, boosting his leader and attacking into my Luffy. That is an easy protect though. So he attacks my leader again, and then I just counter out and attacking Luffy again. Very easy counter. So now going 10 into 7, I go up to 9 and then give him a 2k counter as well. So here I'm just attacking over his characters, doing my best to get them off the field. I did get his smaller body off, but I wasn't able to get over his Zoro because he did keep all those 2k counters in his hand, which definitely paid off from when he took the 2 life cards earlier in the game. Now here, my opponent just attacks me a ton of times, and because he didn't attach any Dawn, I was pretty sure he was going to drop that 10 cost Roger, and I was able to counter out of all of the attacks. Except for the Roger one, I did just use my Nami blocker, because I didn't have a 2k in hand, and Shanks is not a Straw Hat, so I had to protect him in another way. But now here, I'm just attacking over his Roger with my Shanks. I put a ton of Dawn cards onto him, just hoping to get over it, and I did. I was very happy about that, because just having a recurring 13k swing during your opponent's turn is just really tough to deal with, so he was definitely my main priority. And then I attack a few more times before still leaving 5 Dawn cards for my opponent's turn. Now, my opponent basically just copies me, and they attack over my Shanks with their Zoro, and I still don't have that counter in my hand, so I have to let him go. I was definitely feeling a little bit nervous at this point, but I still have my 6 cost Luffy and a good amount of defense through all my Dawn cards and my 3 life cards, even though I do end up taking one here. And my opponent plays down a blocker and then passes it over to me. But here I throw down my Law because he's a brick, so I want to get him out of my hand. Plus he does act as a blocker once I have 1 life card. And I'm able to bounce my killer back and then play my Nami down. And so my Nami is going to be able to rest his blocker, and my Nami's rested as well. It's not a huge deal though, because I will be able to get 5 Dawn cards at the end of my turn. So I attack over their blocker, and then I just stack everything onto my Luffy and attack over their Zoro, and they're still able to counter out. I was just hoping they didn't have another 2k, but they did. So I pass it over and get 5 Dawn cards, and they draw another 2k counter. So now they just attack into my Nami, and I protect her twice actually, because she will just be stronger if I can get her to survive until my next turn. And he chooses to attack my leader here to make the most of his 7,000 power swing. So I'm countering out of this one as well. And then he attacks with his Zoro, throwing a ton of Dawn onto it. And here I do just have to let the Luffy go. It was a little unfortunate. And then he attacks again with his Zoro, putting a ton of Dawn on. I wasn't quite expecting this play. Again, I didn't really expect him to have as many 2k counters in his hand as he did. I thought he would be throwing something else down on the field, so I thought I'd be able to make better use of my Dawn cards, but unfortunately, I just have to take this life card. And then here, I'm just stacking onto my leader, just trying to get cards out of his hand, and so I succeed at that. And then I think about if I'm going to attack with my Law, and I choose to because I'm just going to be able to get over one of his characters that would be a swing. So would I rather get over it now or just block with my Law later? I'd definitely rather just get rid of his character. Now here he attacks over my Law and then throws down his 8 cost Roger. So now his leader is at 9,000 power plus 2 Dawn cards, that's 11,000. And now I'm just countering out of this, even though it really didn't matter because he has no cards in his hand and he's a 9,000 power leader. So I can just stack 4 Dawn onto my leader, attack over him, and then stack 6 Dawn onto my Zoro and attack for 11. Even if he had a 2k counter, which he didn't, there would have been no way he could survive. Those were some good games, and let's just hop right into the deck profile. So this is what the deck looks like. You'll notice that I don't play any of the Nami searchers, which most decks typically do. Instead, I play the 1-cost Bonnie because she can search any supernova character, which you actually have a ton of great options. For instance, you have the 6-cost Luffy and the 6-cost Law, which are both fantastic. And I've been really enjoying playing the 1-cost Killer because once he's down on the field, you have to invest 1 less Dawn card onto your leader, which lets you keep an extra Dawn card up during your opponent's turn, acting as a great 2k counter. And there's also Scratchman Apu, which are both great Supernova 2ks, just to help Bonnie hit more consistently. And of course, there is the 4-cost Zoro. He is just fantastic. Both Zoro and Luffy are able to hit the field for just 2 Dawn, and Zoro is an attack every single turn, while Luffy is a double attack, which just puts tons of pressure on your opponent. And speaking of pressure, Nami is not only a blocker, but she's able to rest 2 of your opponent's characters, which really helps you go for game. Same thing with Hody Jones, which is why I play him at 1, but most of all, I just want to start dropping these 10-cost Shanks as often as I can because I just get all of my Dawn back, so I'm able to beef up my characters, plus have defense, and then he's just a 12k swing every single turn. I love dropping the 5-cost Sanji in the middle of the game because he gets 2 Dawn cards back right away, as well as 1 every single turn in your end phase, just like Usopp, which actually gets you 2 in the end phase. So once these guys hit the field, you can feel a lot better about playing other characters down and attaching your Dawn cards because you'll definitely be able to get some more back and just easily get 2 to 3 Dawn cards every single turn to use as counters during your opponent's turn. This deck definitely wants to go second because you want to hit your 10 Dawn turn as quickly as possible, plus you have great 4 Dawn and 6 Dawn plays, but Killer really does help if you are going first. He's just a great body to just throw down right away. And Beckman is not a bad 7 Dawn play either, especially if you threw down a Sanji the turn before, so you're able to basically just remove what they just threw down the turn earlier, and you'll still have a Dawn card or 2 as active during your opponent's turn. Overall, this deck just has so much offense and defense at the same time. You get these massive swings while still having a ton of resources during your opponent's turn to be able to counter out of all of their attacks. So that about wraps things up. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. If you want to play this list, I left a link to it in the description of this video. And if you're wondering what I am playing on, once again, this is duelvoyager.com. It is a fantastic new site with so many more features than the other sim. You can watch and share replays, you can spectate live matches, and so much more. It is absolutely my favorite place to play One Piece online. So if you're interested, I left a link to that in the description as well. And while we're talking about the description, go ahead and join my Discord. I host a tournament every single week, and I want to get massive tournaments going. So for that, I need your help. So go ahead and join us. We'd just love to see you there. But anyways, if you're still here, you're the best, and I'll see you guys next time.